Right now at noon, a solar project could be underway in the next year in southeast Kansas, pending county approval. We'll have the latest. And we are warm and breezy across the area today. Still have some clouds hanging around as well. Got to look at your forecast coming up. And the Pope speaks about hunger on World Food Day.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We are tracking the potential for some strong to possibly severe thunderstorms late tonight into our Saturday. This is the KOAM News at Noon. I'm Chris Warner. We're going to start there with weather this afternoon. I know a lot of folks are talking about it as we get ready for the Maple Leaf Festival and the other festivities out there. So let's start with our live look outside in downtown Pittsburgh, where at least for right now, we are still looking all right. We've got mostly cloudy skies, but we are warmer out there. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Lots of traffic, but otherwise still dry for the time being. We're going to take a quick look at the numbers. 56 is where we started yesterday. 82 is what we made it up to. 9 degrees above normal again for that high. Still very warm out there, and you can see where our averages are supposed to be, and we've just not been too terribly close. Not too terribly close today either. We're already into the upper 70s. Got some low 80s here and there. Of course, where we're starting to get a little more clearing, we're starting to get a little warmer. We got 81 in Stockton is one of the warm spots out there. So again, a bit of a just a warm day. Just a warm day in general. Now, as we go through the evening, we're still expecting some clearing to take place. We're going to have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. By 7, we're into the upper 70s, mid 70s by 8. And as we head into the late evening hours, again, initially, an isolated shower storm in our northern counties in southeast Kansas is possible. This is not part of the main complex or the main threat that we have overnight tonight with those thunderstorms incoming. We're back to the low 70s by 10 after midnight, and really and truly after about 2 a.m., that's when we're expecting our thunderstorm chances to ramp up. And that chance does include the possibility for some strong to severe thunderstorms. Maple Leaf, of course, is tomorrow, the parade, of course, the festivities on the square, lots of other outdoor activities. And again, this isn't a severe weather outbreak by any means, but we are going to have to watch it, and we'll have more on the forecast and break down what you need to know with our severe threat here in just a few more minutes. In this afternoon's top stories, a $500 million solar project is stirring up debate in Crawford County. Not everyone is on board with a plan to build a new solar farm near the intersection of Highway 69 and 47. Now, some residents who live near the project say it could change the character of their neighborhood and question whether the benefits are worth it. KOAM's Blake Gully shares their concerns.
I think that our county is not prepared for what is ahead.
Crawford County Commissioners will soon consider the annexation of more than 1,600 acres into Mulberry, Kansas. Property owners like Rick Elnicki and Steve Coupland already have plans for a $500 million solar project from Shasta Power, one of the largest energy investments ever proposed in this area.
This particular farm is going to be surrounded by it. And what is that going to do when I look out my window and I want to see, you know, the deer grazing and the eagles landing, the geese that sleep out here in the wintertime, you know? I mean, it's full of wildlife. They build this, where does that wildlife go?
Danny Childers is one of several residents who say the project could change the landscape they've called home for generations, replacing open farmland and a wildlife habitat with rows of solar panels. City Hall may be where the decision was made, but the impact stretches far beyond Mulberry, with the land that once produced coal now scheduled to create clean energy, creating jobs and opportunities for this region.
The economic benefit, I don't think we've ever had one like this. You know, and this is not prime farm ground. This is mined land that we run cattle on that was mined and the coal's gone out of it, and we can't really raise good crops on almost all the area that's being in this 1,600 acres.
Supporters say the project could bring jobs and tax revenue to Mulberry and local school districts. But opponents like Childers say there's been little to no clear communication about what comes next.
There is no transparency. There is no public outcry. There's nothing that's being put out to us that says, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Reporting in Crawford County, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
Crawford County Commission will make the final decision on whether to approve the land annexation. If passed, construction on the solar project could begin next year, bringing hundreds of jobs and new tax revenue to both Mulberry and the county. Well, at the Joplin Regional Stockyards, FFA students are getting hands-on experience in agriculture thanks to a growing program supported by Mid-Missouri Bank. The program connects young people directly to the roots of their communities, from learning how calves are raised to understanding the entire food process. And the idea is to help shape the next generation of agricultural leaders and keep Missouri's farm legacy alive.
There's all different kinds of learners in the world. There's people who can do really good at reading things, and there's some people who like to use their hands and have a hands-on experience. Most people don't realize that agriculture touches every aspect of our community. There's a place in agriculture for everyone. So to be able to have students come out and experience different stations where they can not only see but touch, hear, and get a full immersed experience.
The Agricultural Youth Education Program started in Lebanon, Missouri, and has now expanded across the state, reaching more than 500 students from 18 schools. And young local artists have been busy decorating some windows in Pittsburgh for the holiday season. The city's annual Halloween window painting contest is underway. Kids 5 to 12 have transformed business windows in downtown and all over Broadway with Halloween works of art. For some artists, the choice of what to paint was a tough one. And Pope Leo is urging world leaders to do more to stop global hunger, calling it a moral failure to let millions go without food. The American-born pontiff spoke at a ceremony in Rome, citing new UN figures showing around 673 million people do not eat enough every day. He blamed a soulless economy and called on people to rethink their lifestyles and priorities.
Poverty has become the daily bread of so many of our brothers and sisters. The international community cannot look the other way.
The Pope's message comes as UN food aid agencies face severe funding cuts from top donors, threatening critical support in crisis zones around the world. Before becoming Pope, Leo spent much of his career as a missionary in Peru, caring for the poor. And still to come on the KOAM News at Noon and this week's Doing Good, we're going to see how Rafa International is breaking cycles of trauma and fighting child trafficking one community at a time. And a little later, we're making double stuffed potatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Welcome back. In this week's Doing Good segment, we're putting the focus on a local organization working to break the cycle of child trafficking. Rafa International started more than 20 years ago after founder Stephanie Freed visited Southeast Asia. And as KOAM's Ty Park shows us, the organization continues that mission in Jasper County.
So the work that we do here, it really does breaks a generational cycle of trauma and abuse, by shining a light on the trauma that has happened, giving the person experiencing this counseling and this help the opportunity to walk through what they've experienced and understand what's happened to them and separate what's happened to them from who they are.
Rafa International is committed to combating and ending the trafficking and sexual abuse of children, one child, one community at a time.
But we also provide prevention services where we go into the most bracingly poor and vulnerable communities, and we provide education. We help them with whatever kind of vulnerabilities they may struggle with, whether it be housing or food insecurity, or if they are just unaware of their own trauma that they've experienced. And so we provide those prevention care services so that these children never enter into trafficking to begin with.
It's not only a battle to prevent, but also a journey of recovery for victims. That's why the organization also offers various forms of scientifically supported therapy options.
To help each child or each person, because we see all ages, each person walking through our doors is able to find some relief and some help and some support as they walk through whatever traumas they've experienced.
Rafa also provides training programs for professionals who work with trafficking cases.
And we work with other therapists in the area as well. I mean, there's a plethora of training that's available to people, whether it be law enforcement training, whether it be trainings for those who are working in the probation and parole office.
In Joplin, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Now, Rafa International recently moved into the building on 20th Street to help expand its mental and behavioral services. Well, still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you're a potato lover or know someone who is, then grab a few napkins, because today's recipe will have you moving.
And we're keeping an eye on thunderstorm chances as we roll into the weekend. We'll have a look at your forecast when we come back. At noon, so we've got what is shaping up to be a pretty decent day. It's still warm, of course, and it's been on the breezy side as well. We're going to take a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh, and you can see it's still mostly cloudy to a point, but we're starting to get more sunshine in out there. So here's what we've got. This has been updated. Of course, it updates at about 11:30. They actually updated it early. Our hail threat has been scaled back a little further west, but is still there. It's a level 1 out of 5. And again, this is for storms late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and we still have that damaging wind risk out there as well, level 1 out of 5. And the other good news, our tornado risk is still very low. No areas highlighted. As I've mentioned, severe storms, the risk is never truly zero, but it can be extremely low. And that's the case with storms we're expecting late tonight. So through the rest of the afternoon, skies will continue to clear. It'll be breezy. It will be warm, some partly cloudy skies. As we go later into the evening, initially some isolated scattered showers and storms. We're not expecting these to be strong or severe initially, but after 2 a.m., we'll start to see additional thunderstorm development, and it's expected to be scattered in nature, but some of these storms could be strong to severe. Now, this has already changed since this morning, and I guarantee you, it's going to change again by tomorrow morning. It'll probably change again by this evening. So by 6 a.m. Saturday, we've got scattered showers, thunderstorms out there. The coverage not as great as it was looking this morning, but still those storms in place and still that risk for strong to potentially severe storms. Now, the parade in Carthage set to start at 9 a.m. We've seen a change in the position of thunderstorms. In fact, that line of storms we saw this morning on Future Track isn't actually shaping up. So we're going to have to, again, this is something with the parade itself and the festivities. It's got to be monitored very closely because it's still a somewhat changing situation. We know there are storms tomorrow. We know they could be strong to severe, but when it comes to certain events for Maple Leaf, it's all about the timing. Could you get away with doing the parade, but then maybe festivities on the square later are going to be impacted, or is it the other way around? That's what we're going to have to watch. As we go through the morning, though, by 10 a.m., we have this complex of storms, very likely could be strong to severe as well, pushing through Chanute, Parsons, Coffeyville, Independence, Veneta, Newata, closing in on Miami, and getting into parts of Bourbon, Crawford, Cherokee counties as well. You see how quickly it races east. By noon, Stockton, Monette, Mount Vernon, Cassville, and we've got this batch of storms south of I-44 that could be strong to severe as well. We continue into the afternoon, and by 3, additional showers and storms, and some of these could be strong to severe as well. But the earlier storms, it's low-grade severe. It's more that level 1 out of 5 risk. It's the storms later in the evening as the actual front approaches that are going to have a better chance of being a little more intense. Still not severe weather outbreak status by any means, but this is going to be our better shot for some of the stronger storms leading into that severe risk. And as the front pushes through, it's going to take those showers and storms with it, leaving us clear and seasonably cold Sunday night. So our risk areas for tomorrow really haven't changed at this point. We still have the level 1 out of 5 risk, an isolated tornado or two. And this is going to be, again, late afternoon into the evening as that front approaches the area. And we have the level 1 and 2 out of 5 risk still in place for the potential for some large hail and for damaging wind gusts, again, with that second round of storms. So still a lot that we want to keep an eye on out there. Outside of that, again, still looking at low to mid 80s today, breezy, non-thunderstorm winds tomorrow, gusting to 20, 80. But then look at what happens behind that cold front, upper 40s. By Saturday night, upper 60s on Sunday, and we'll be through the low 70s through most of next week, a few additional rain chances, and eventually warming up toward the end of next week. Well, stick around because we are making double stuffed potatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, potatoes have a number of different ways you can make them. There's all sorts of mashed potatoes, garlic potatoes, all sorts of potatoes. And Howard is going to show us double stuffed potatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I don't know about you, but I don't know anyone who doesn't love potatoes in at least one form or another. Maybe that's because they're one of the most versatile veggies in the market. After all, we can boil them, smash them, mash them, brown them, bake them. The list goes on and on. So today, I thought it'd be fun to combine two of my favorites, baked potatoes and mashed. Here's all we do. After baking half a dozen russet potatoes, just until they're tender, we let them cool. Once they are, we cut about ½ inch or so off the top and scoop out most of the potato, leaving a ¼ inch shell. Now, to this, we add some sour cream, butter, onion powder, some salt and pepper, and then we'll beat that together. Once it's smooth, we'll spoon the filling back into the skins. A little paprika on top, and into the oven they go until they're piping hot. That's the basic version, but feel free to mix in or top these with some shredded cheese, crumbled bacon, fresh herbs, really whatever you'd like. And when you serve these, everyone will think that it's some special occasion because they look and taste that good. If you want the recipe for our double stuffed potatoes, it's online now, so you'll be ready with a company fancy side dish that is everyday easy. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where we found a doubly good way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Well, if you would like this recipe or any of the other fantastic food in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, head over to our site, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at 4-state market prices. All right, so again, low mid-80s today. We have those thunderstorm chances increasing overnight tonight into tomorrow. Some of the storms tonight and tomorrow could be strong to severe. Damaging winds, large hail are primary concern. An isolated tornado or two cannot be ruled out, especially late tomorrow afternoon into the evening. Then that front comes through, moves those storms on out. Our temperatures, for at least a bit, become much more seasonable. So it's going to feel pretty cold compared to where we've been. And we warm back up, a few more rain chances through next week as well. And coming up tonight at 5, President Trump sits down with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky at the White House today after a lengthy phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin yesterday. Plus, Joplin High School seniors connect to potential college opportunities at a special scholarship ceremony. And the MSSU Department of Art and Design hosts a hands-on day of workshops for high school art students. We have those stories and a whole lot more on the KOAM News at 5. And of course, the rest of the Skywatch weather team will be here for you this evening because, as I mentioned, this weather information, it's going to update again tonight. So make sure you stick with us, get the KOAM Skywatch weather app. And of course, you can stream our coverage of anything, anytime with the KOAM Plus app as well. That's going to do it for the news at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back here tonight at 5. Have a great rest of your day.